I do want to get to this video on your screen. This was released by the IDF not too long ago, as they do say it shows Palestinian gunmen opening fire on a group of people waiting for aid in Gaza City. This comes after the Hamas-run Palestinian Health Ministry claimed it was Israeli troops who began shooting. The IDF responded, saying it investigated and found Israeli troops did not fire any gunshots. At least 21 people were killed, more than 150 others believed to be wounded in that attack at Kuwait Square. I do want to talk more about all of this and the latest developments on the war itself. So let's bring in Mark Chandler at Coastal Carolina University. He, of course, is the Director of Government Relations and also a former senior defense intelligence official. As always, Mark, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and help break down the latest headlines. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Josh, and good morning.
Good morning. Well, this appears to be the second time that we have seen the IDF release video to kind of provide more detail, more context into a situation where gunshots were fired during a situation where Gaza residents were waiting there for aid. We do have limited information about this latest incident, but your thoughts overall as this is developing and you see that video?
Well, Josh, I saw the release of this video last night, and I looked at this. And first off, let me explain that combat and a combat environment is a very confusing and very chaotic environment out there. And so you mix that and you throw in a civilian and especially a relief supply situation like this, and you're going to create more chaos. But as you look at this, Israel does monitor these convoys through the video. And that's obviously what you have, an unmanned aerial vehicle video playing back on this situation. Now, Israel doesn't control the distribution sites of this. So you look at this, Israel was not engaged. They were not there. But you see a general tendency, as you just pointed out, and I can actually go back to that hospital explosion a few months ago, where Israel was initially blamed for that attack and that explosion, and it later turned out to be Hamas. So I think you're going to find these situations. The tendency, unfortunately, is to immediately blame Israel for such an incident. And so when you start to look at how this plays out, I think you're going to see, let's pause on the initial reporting and then work our way into some evaluation of this, not just blame Israel at first.
And it is important to note that the IDF went and did this investigation almost immediately after hearing of the incident. They hear Hamas's claims and they go and investigate right away. It was that same situation with the hospital attack where they were blamed. And then the situation, just a few weeks ago, also at an aid distribution site. So it is important to note the IDF does go and investigate these incidents, right?
It is very important. And Josh, there have been some incidents where individual or even a small IDF unit has actually done something they're not supposed to do. I'm not going to say it's a violation of the law of armed conflict, but, it violates the principles of military action. And Israel has actually punished some individual soldiers and small units. So I think you need to step back and you need to pause when an incident like this happens. As much as there's pressure on Israel about the security of the refugees and the overwhelming number of civilian casualties in this situation, Israel is trying to maintain in a chaotic combat environment the highest principles it can for conducting these operations in a very, very complex urban warfare situation.